Wait, taking deep breath first.
You took in a deep breath. Okay, let's start.
Welcome to another episode of podcast.
Okay, anyway, today we don't have a guest.
Shit. And then suddenly very spacious.
Okay.
I can do this now.
I don't know what Kenneth was trying to say about Tammy and Joyce, but
No, it's always we are like too close for comfort and then like feel very warm.
I was just telling Tammy yesterday that the episode with her is still like the best performing, right?
Yeah.
Got like 100 plus listens, right?
No lah.
Not 100 plus.
50.
Oh, sorry, Tammy. I told her 100 plus.
Oh my god, you don't scream. Yvette, don't scream in the mic, please.
Okay, sorry. I told 100 plus. Like listens. I thought I saw the chart, it was 100 plus, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was like 50 only, Yvette.
If 50 is still twice more than usual.
You want to check now? Or is this considered digressing?
Yeah, it's considered digressing.
What the fuck? I want to digress Not happy, you call police lah.
Joanne said we ramble too much.
Again, she still continues to say that.
Yeah.
We already cut down already what?
Yeah.
You mean ramble like in general conversation?
Yeah, like we keep going off topic or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, this week we're going to
Anyway,
talk
this
about...
is not a TED Talk, right? So, Joanne, deal with it. I almost call her...
I know, I can
I was
see.
like, deal with it.
I can see your lips forming the B word.
Beautiful woman. Nice save, Kenneth. Oh shit, I was a bit too loud.
Okay.
Yeah, so today, as you can tell from the title, I guess.
that has to be written.
Yeah.
You can put like Dee Kosh like up there.
I
Is
guess
that like
so.
clickbaity? I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean, it is what is happening now. I might
Okay.
put it that.
So anyway, for once in our history of doing podcast, we're touching on a trending topic.
Yeah, but okay, so the context is we record this on
What's the date?
22nd August.
22nd August.
I don't think I can push it out tomorrow. Actually, if I really, really want to, I can find a way. But I'm also going out tomorrow, you see.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll try. But if not, you will see this next week, which
Yeah.
is 29th, 30th
Yeah.
August.
And actually, who knows like what other developments will happen by
Yeah,
then.
it's very possible that within 1 week, a lot of things will happen. So, I don't think the aim today is so much about discussing the intricacies of the details of what he has done. But I think
Allegedly.
it's about, but it's more about like the conversation about some of the things that he have done and like how we perceive it in general.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is not going to make much sense. I think you just continue listening to
Yeah.
us.
So, for those who are not caught up with the internet,
Where have you been?
yeah, so Dee Kosh, I don't
Were
know
you on
whether
MySpace?
I don't know whether you guys
Or
know who
Friendster?
Dee Kosh is. Dee Kosh is actually it's kind of OG YouTube Singaporean YouTuber
I think he has always been a DJ, right?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
He always last time he have this accent, then he'll be like, what terrible he has my terrible accent, blah, blah. That's his intro for his YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So he's been doing YouTube for actually quite a while already. He's kind of OG I would say, for Singapore.
Like back in the days when people use webcam, that kind. Like those
Yeah,
kind of
I
days?
think so.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
I think he's quite old school. So, yeah, recently he's been caught up with anyway, he's also in like the NOC channel, Night Hour Cinematics, one of the top YouTube channels in Singapore. He's also a radio DJ. I think he got these opportunities.
Power 98.
Yeah, he got these opportunities because of what he has done on YouTube so he's been caught out recently by one person, after which several I guess victims came out to say that he has been
Allegedly.
yeah they have been approached.
Propositioning
Yeah,
them.
they have been approached to have some sexual I wouldn't say intercourse, but like sometimes it's like sexual favors
Yeah.
in exchange for cash when they are
Minors.
when they are minors less than 18.
Yeah, younger than 18.
Younger
Why
than
less than
18?
18?
I don't know lah.
What's less than?
Less than 18 is 17 lah. I don't know lah.
Okay, younger lah. We're
Younger
talking
than
about age
18.
here.
Yeah. So, yeah. So initially he denied it, but like within a day or so, he came out with a statement saying that there's some truth in it. He denied certain things, but yeah, there's some things that he now look back, it may seem quite problematic or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. You can go and read his statements anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, you can go to the mother of all compilation, Mothership lah.
Ooh, mothership.
They have fucking okay lah. Let's not post them.
Hey,
But
actually,
sometimes-
you know, people roast Mothership, but in the end, they still read Mothership anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's a moot point.
the thing is, they are very good
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't want to follow all the different Instagram accounts, never mind, Mothership compile for you,
Yeah.
right?
Then sometimes you hope that you get like quality compilation, but some shit is like they tell you this irrelevant Singaporean actor.
Oh, the brown face guy.
Yeah. Dennis Chew. That he got a 5-room flat. There's like
No, mention that.
I mentioned that. There's like
That he been searching for 7 years.
Like
Woo!
who gives a fuck?
No, but like quality compilations can be like
I
if
thought
they're talking about otters. Sometimes Singaporeans love otters, then they will like compile Facebook posts about otters.
Otters like
quality.
the animal otter.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
like otters like
No, like otter, like the vicious little river mammal. Is it mammal?
it's a mammal.
Yeah, mammal. Now those are quality compilations.
Okay, we digress. But
sorry.
anyway, if you want more information about Dee Kosh, you can always go Mothership. They have quite a lot of things lah.
Yeah.
So I think that also sparked some conversation. I don't know whether it does lah, but I think a lot of people jump into the hating bandwagon and trying to cancel him, which I think it's kind of happening. And yeah, I think for me, when I first look at it, I didn't think it was as serious as some people put it until there's some like definitions about how this is wrong. Like for example, if someone is below 18,
like if you have any sort of sexual conversation with the person, it's already illegal.
It's considered illegal. Yeah.
But anyway, all these things, like whether he did commit a crime or whatever, it's still allegedly because the police is still investigating, right? So what we're basing off is what the screenshots and receipts that are going on online lah.
Yeah. Maybe we can start with one thing first is that a lot of people compare or like call him a hypocrite because he's the one who called out Eden Ang back in 2018, I think. 2018 or 2017. Eden Ang, and if you don't know who Eden Ang is,
he was a YouTuber?
He was a YouTuber.
He's like radio silence now, right?
Yeah, he's off the grid lah, I think.
I wonder how he's making a living then.
Don't know. Maybe side jobs or
Yeah.
behind the scenes kind of jobs. But he was being accused for, I think, like pressuring girls into doing things that they don't really want to do by
Did he, like,
luring
touch?
them into his channel lah.
Yeah. Did he touch them, that kind of thing?
I guess so. Like he kind of forced himself onto them.
Okay, I don't really remember
the
the
girls
details.
to call him daddy.
Oh, right. I
Remember that one? Yeah, which is like fuck. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So basically the gist is
So
that people
cringy.
call Dee Kosh a hypocrite
Hypocrite.
because he's the one actually who kind of kicked off that whole conversation. He kind of
Oh, he did?
He's like, oh, there's something that I need to review.
He spilled the tea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, over Instagram live or something.
And that's what made the case go viral.
Sort of, I think. Then more and more victims came out and shared their side of the
Right.
story. So now Dee Kosh is like being caught in the same thing because I think the screenshots of some of the messages to the young boys,
Minors.
they kind of allude to like him scouting for talent and asking them to stay late overnight or
Is
all that
it?
shit. Yeah, I think there were some
Oh.
screenshots. So I mean, those are whether true or not is still another story. But people based on that, they are like, oh, you're a hypocrite. You call Eden Ang for all these things, using his power, abuse his position. Like you are also doing the same thing. Yeah. So I thought it was like quite interesting. Like for me, first thing when I look at it, I was like, actually, these two are not the same. I mean, not saying that what Dee Kosh done is less worse or whatever, but I think like the first reaction I had was like it's not the same. I feel like what Eden Ang does in my instinct was that what Eden Ang did was worse compared to what Dee Kosh is doing, because Dee Kosh, he did not like physically force them per se, and he always checked whether they are still right the right age, which is a problem by itself.
Yeah.
But like he.
But there were also screenshots of him apparently saying that he checked for the age, but then when the guys tell him, actually I'm under 18, then he's like, so what? That kind of.
No, then he will ask he will ask also like, when's your birthday?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like just
so that actually implies
keeping
that it's
check.
not that he's unaware that it's illegal, right?
Yeah. He's kind of waiting for them to come out fresh from the oven.
Ugh, why do you have to put it that way?
Essentially what it is, right?
Okay, but
Ding!
ew,
Happy birthday!
dude.
Here's my cock served on the
Ew,
silver platter.
what the fuck?
I mean, we can laugh about it because we are not victims, right?
Yeah.
I know that it's just a coping mechanism, guys. So please don't think in the context that we are trivializing the victims' suffering.
Yeah.
If there's
But anyway, you were saying that you don't find it similar, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Then, but actually, I think there is a parallel because in both cases, it's men using, or not men, people lah. I mean, women can do it too. People using their like the differences in the power dynamics in order to influence or manipulate somebody into sexual favors. So that's where I see the parallel is, and it's true. Both of them are using their so-called fame to apparently coerce people into sexual favors lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at
Then my question is,
oh, sorry, continue.
why do, is it like a guy thing? Or like, when you hear about this kind of sexual scandals or whatever, it's always like those so-called like people with small celebrities, and then they will, why is it always sex that they turn to? If you're powerful, why don't you ask people to like, help me go and queue for that famous restaurant?
Right, so
Or file my taxes for me.
And get a third party to be involved. Is it?
No, I'm just saying, like, why
Go
is
through
it
a third
always
party?
sex that you're trying to use your power to manipulate people?
How do you
into
know
doing?
that it's not the other? The other things could also be used. Right? It's just that
that's true.
sex is the one that
It's like,
got caught out and like
oh,
it's like the thing that blows up lah.
that's true.
Like why would a conversation about Dee Kosh asking someone to queue for iPhone? Why would, I mean, I guess Mothership might post it. But like,
Yeah, but anyway,
subtle roast.
but actually after that, like more stories about him being a bully also came out lah. But we can talk about that later on lah.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying something before I say, hey, why not use your power to ask people file taxes or queue for you? But
What did I want to say? Oh yeah, so in fact, if you go to his, I mean, I don't follow him on YouTube channel, but after when the saga happened, I'll go and see what were his last posts on YouTube or whatever. You can see that he's like managing a group of young boys. Yeah. So it's like he's like talent management. It's like a group of young boys. They're like, most of them are Chinese, I think. I don't know whether there's any non-Chinese. The few videos that I saw in the thumbnail didn't seem to have non-Chinese guys, but they all look like Korean. They have the Korean boy band vibes lah. You know, the hairstyle
hair,
and
the floppy
demeanor,
hair,
yeah.
and like the small boy face.
Yeah. So I look at it, I was like, like this is questionable.
Why?
Because it's like the same thing with Eden Ang putting hot girls on thumbnails.
But a lot of Singaporean channels do that too.
Yeah.
So does that mean?
No. So I mean, okay. So why I'm bringing this up is because I sometimes I need to draw parallel with because I'm not gay, you see. So it's very hard for me to envision that this is like sexualized or like this is using looks to sex to sell certain like how it looks like lah. Basically, in the sense that I can relate it better if I look at it from the perspective of if this is a guy and he has a talent management of girls, young girls, then I can process it better and I can know, because for me when I look at it, it's like just guys one. There's nothing sleazy, nothing fucked up going on. But if you change that for me like as a straight person, when I change it to like a 30-year-old guy managing a group of barely legal girls, then it's like what the fuck. To me, I'll feel like it's what the fuck. Yeah. So that's how I relate. I need to go through this like hoops in order to better understand the situation. Because my first instinct when I look at it, like the whole boys thing, to me, I guess it's also the male, the masculine toxicity.
Toxic masculinity.
I always got this.
Masculine toxicity. What the
fuck? Toxic masculinity. Yeah. I feel like I don't feel as sympathetic to the boys, and I'm aware of it. So when I'm aware of it, I also question myself, why do I feel that way? Yeah, I don't think it's something that I can instantly switch. It takes like processing lah.
Yeah.
To look at it, to reflect and like realize why it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But then for me, it's like the moment you realize they're minors, or like you see the kind of language that he uses is already fucked up to me lah when I see it. I mean the screenshots that are floating around lah.
Yeah. So it's like he's kind of like grooming them in some sense.
I thought grooming is generally used for like kids though. Like from
kids what? 16, 17.
Yeah, you're right, shit. They are kids.
Yeah. So what?
Man, it's so fucked up.
Yeah. So I don't know, like I think as a guy, you look at it, it's like, yeah, guys, you should know what you're doing. Like, you shouldn't be a victim. But I also realized that these narratives are toxic. It's part of the problem, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like for me also, because like, okay, maybe I shared this on like when I was I think I can't remember my exact age, like primary school. I was being touched on the butt once by a stranger.
Huh?
I think it's
on a train.
I think it was a foreign worker.
On a bus?
No, at the supermarket below my house.
Oh, okay.
Last time used to have one underground supermarket. So the thing is like,
oh yeah, you said before.
Yeah. So it's like touch my butt. Then I look at the guy. Then he was like smiling at me.
What?
Then I was like, what's going on? Then I felt like something is wrong. Yeah. But I mean, to be honest,
how old were you?
I don't know. I just mentioned I don't know. Primary school.
Oh, primary school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But like early primary or
I don't know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I really don't know. I cannot remember. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's between 7 to 12.
Yeah.
It's still
fucked up.
Yeah, it's still fucked up. So the thing is, I didn't really feel violated. But I talked to the shop owner. So they kind of like, oh shit. Then they look for him, but I think he left already. That guy. And I think I've never seen him ever since lah. But after that, like the way that it's been talked about at home or like discussed, people laughed about it. I also laughed about it. Yeah. So it was not treated seriously that I'm being molested.
Yeah.
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 It's never. I mean, even today, I don't feel like I was molested. Yeah. But if you change the conversation about how it's a old guy touching a young girl, you see it as being molested. Yeah. So am I being molested? I have no idea. I guess in my brain, I cut it out. I just like don't admit that I was being molested. Because as a guy, it's like, I guess you also feel like you're
that's why a lot
useless,
of like male
if you're
victims don't come out.
Yeah.
Like there are male victims of rape too, right? But they don't come out because of this toxic masculinity. Like people will think, you're a dude, you can protect yourself. What do you mean rape?
Yeah. Why do you get touched by someone else? You know?
Yeah. But I guess, I mean.
So I guess maybe I translate some of this thinking to the victims also. Like, then I also realized that, okay, it's quite difficult to process it as a guy, I feel. Yeah.
Because you have always been like socialized into thinking that it's not possible for guys to be molested.
I won't say it's socially not possible, but like you don't hear conversations about it. So when it happens, you don't.
Like it's always.
You don't draw. There's nothing to draw from.
Like it's always like victims. You automatically think it's a female victim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. So actually, okay, I'm not trying to. It sounded like I'm damn popular. I keep getting touched, right?
Okay.
There's also one more incident in Thailand, which is okay. I didn't go there for sleazy. I was with my family. Okay, guys, hold your horses. I think it was like at Chatuchak. Then I was like near the overhead bridge or something. Yeah. Then I think I felt something brush on my butt. It's always my butt. I think I have bubble butt or some shit.
What the fuck is bubble butt?
I don't know. Like nice
Maybe your butt too firm.
Bouncy and like whoop, whoop.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but there's also like some like, so the thing is like it felt like it was being touched, but it wasn't really feel.
Touch means like this.
No, it wasn't being. Was it?
Oh, I think you told me before. It happened like only a few years, like two years
after I started working lah. Is it? No, I think it's still in uni.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
still in uni.
So I don't think I was being groped. Actually, I cannot remember whether I'm being groped.
But I just know you were being touched.
I was like, okay, weird. So I like turned around and see what's happening. Then I saw one guy was like smiling at me. Then I was like,
why?
I was like,
so
what the fuck? Then I faster walk away. Yeah, but
why do they always smile? I don't.
They think that they hope that you like it lah.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't have that brain, so I won't be able to tell you accurately why they are turning around and smiling.
It makes me think like they're doing it like, and then they like they know that you know, and then they just smile at you because they're like, so what are you gonna do about
But
it?
the funny thing is like I guess it's also I feel like I wasn't attractive. Like I was fat also, what? So but I also know that in the gay I wouldn't say industry, like the
Industry.
the community, like there's a type kind of people, like you have the good looking kind
It's
or
not
whatever.
just
Then
gay
there's
lah.
one type.
Everybody also got type.
There's
what?
one type is like the more plump.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Told me before.
Oh,
Oh shit. Yeah, should I have
you can
said?
bleep it out. Okay, your friend told you before.
Shit, I should have said. Okay, yeah. My friend. So shit, that means I must go and edit. I must go and find this part and beep it.
You go and find the timing.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah lor, I it's just like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like you also don't think about like trying to go after him, like because you're also not very sure whether that was wrong.
Yeah.
I guess that also translates to how most victims might feel also sometimes when they are being
Yeah.
what's that word? When they are being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like it happens so fast that you don't process what's happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I guess also like I mean as a guy, like I don't see it as a big deal because I think the society demands for it. That it's not a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah. So I kind of like laugh it off. I talk about it. I always talk about it like it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is I guess is our way of handling it lah. Like we laugh about it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sad. Maybe for your cases, for your case, you don't feel like it's like it doesn't have maybe an emotional or like traumatic impact on you. But then like imagine for like all those people who were seriously traumatized by it, but they also feel this need to just brush it off or to laugh it off when actually it's like, maybe screwing them up inside, but they can't talk about it. It's quite
or maybe they
terrible.
don't even realize that it's affecting them. That's the thing.
Yeah, because they cannot process.
Yeah, they don't process it. They just treat it as like, oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, lor, so
but actually it does affect them and manifest it in many ways, in their behavior, in their relationships with with their partners.
Yeah. So, going back to last episode, the only way to find out all these things if you are like, I guess,
More
being able to self-aware and being able to process.
Or maybe you go therapy about certain problems and like talk about and explore why you feel a certain way.
Yeah. But
Suddenly very noisy.
yeah, your mom is out in the living room watching her show.
I already tell her put it down, hold on.
Okay.
Angry.
Holding on.
You can share. Do you want got anything to say?
I'm thinking of getting an iPhone. But I've always been using Android. But then I found out today that there is a move to iOS app on Play Store. So maybe I will change to an iPhone after all, when it comes out in September. So anyway, I'm just sharing my iPhone versus... I've always been using Samsung, by the way. But Samsung has always been disappointing me. Even though I'm such a loyal Samsung user. So I figured, you know what? It's time. Let me just... It's now or later. Now or later. Now. It's now or never.
What the fuck is now and later?
Look, I wanted to say never and I wanted to say later, so it became later.
Hashtag new word. Sorry, guys. You all heard me screaming at my mom.
Yeah.
I think you all probably did.
Okay, so...
Oh.
I think actually at the end of all the... whenever like all these sexual scandal things come out, people always talking about the perpetrator and then like hating on the perpetrator, right? But actually, I guess then we don't really talk about the victims also.
We don't.
Yeah.
I guess the victim also don't want to be...
I guess because for them, it really takes like so much out of them to even talk about it and put themselves out there,
Yeah. You don't want the attention,
Yeah.
what? Like for me, if let's say I'm being sexually violated, I also don't want the attention to be on me.
Yeah.
If you want to move on, you just want to move on. Yeah.
But then people now are always saying how their hopes and wishes are with the victims that they heal and all those things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as sadly as much as all the narrative about we shouldn't victim blame, but victim blaming is still very, very large.
Very, very large.
In terms of not say large, but very common.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, because yesterday also I had dinner with my friends. Then we were like talking about it also. Then a lot of people was like, my friends were saying, I didn't even know Dee Kosh was gay. So now,
Yeah.
so then
He
you don't want to feel bad for somebody who did something shitty and fucked up, right? But at the same time, you have to realize that he's being outed on like such a huge like scale. Like, I mean, he wasn't out before this, and now he's totally out. Like, he was forced out of the closet, which is like quite traumatic, right, for gay people.
I mean, firstly, he keep couching himself as being straight lah.
He did
Yeah.
Because that's what my friends said also, like,
he has been,
because in his latest video, he talked about Twitch and stuff like that. Then he was like reacting to video, not Twitch, TikTok. He was reacting to their videos. Then he said, yeah, I know, maybe guys are not my cup of tea, that kind of thing. In his latest video.
oh, is it?
Yeah. So he really wasn't out lah. So now in this case, he's really... Then my friend was saying, well, actually in this kind of cases, the person can become suicidal. Like, he lost all his job opportunities, income,
Lost his
stuff.
reputation.
Wow, now I sound like I'm sympathetic for a predator. But like, I mean, what he did is fucked up, and I don't feel any sympathy for him because you know what? I never liked his content or his persona online at all.
Yeah.
He's like such a huge turn off, and so I just don't like his content at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, wow, what's happening to him is fucked up also lah. But I mean, he's the one who did all these fucked up things. So I don't know. It's like I don't want to feel sympathy, but at the same time, there is a bit of sympathy.
Yeah. I also wondering like what's the discussion? Do people call him out for being gay or whatever? I don't know. I don't think so, right?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
because
I
I didn't go
hope that people don't go down that line lah. Because you go down that path, you are also shaming the victims.
I didn't go and like see all the troll comments, but I think they probably are because I see like people's responses to it on Twitter. Then people are saying, you can talk about the situation without being homophobic and racist. Yeah. Which I mean, I guess when people are angry and hating on the hate bandwagon, they will be homophobic and racist lah.
They just think of all the angriest thing they can say.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gotten that before, but mine was a funny version.
What?
Someone called me, the Chinese New Year video. Someone called me to, fuck you and fly off.
What's that? Why you fly off?
Fly off. I also don't know. Fly off. Fly off. Fuck you and fly off. What? You don't deserve to be on a platform because you are don't know what.
You only have 700 subs.
No, that time the Chinese New Year video.
Okay.
That one got a lot of attention ma.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Fuck you and fly off. Fly off to where? I've never heard someone so angrily tell you to fly off.
Fuck off lah, but like fly off.
Fuck you and fly off. Yeah.
But also like, I saw this thread on Twitter, by a Singaporean guy who is gay. Then he kind of talked about like how, like violence or something like that, like the interactions in when they were growing up as like a baby gay, like as a younger gay person.
Wait, is baby gay a thing?
I think it is actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean on TikTok lah. But anyway, when they were like younger gay people, when you can't really be out, and they weren't any like role models for them to like look up to or whatever, and like he was talking about like how the interactions could be quite violent. Is it violent or like could be quite aggressive?
Interactions with
like other gay people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
so he was kind of talking about because like they can't be out, right?
Yeah.
You can't be openly out.
So they get very, that will translate of them acting out like they hate gay people.
No, as in he's saying that the interactions, maybe you should go and read the thread lah. We can like link it below because I thought it was quite interesting. He's talking about the power dynamics, or not power dynamics, like dynamics between like gay people. Because when you're younger and everything is like more suppressed and you can't be out, and then like the interactions, like he had like when he was in secondary school, and then he had like an interaction with like another gay person where it was like the guy just like stick his hand down his pants, and then like ask for like and then like they ask for like a hand job or like a mutual hand job or something like that, and it wasn't like consent, or it wasn't explicit consent, and then he was just talking about like how.
So when you say interaction, it's more like because when you say interaction, I thought it was like a day-to-day, you walking around, then you like see each other, You like, hey, fuck you, then you fuck you back. Yeah, so I was trying, that's why I keep asking you, because I was like, what's your context of interaction? Okay,
I think
so
he's just
interaction is more
saying
like
how,
sexual
like,
favors.
I guess so. I don't really know how to explain. You have to go and read the thread. I'm not making much sense, sorry guys. But I just thought it was interesting to give like, to see like, to understand the context of why maybe Dee Kosh talks the way he does. I don't know lah. But I guess like that Twitter thread was also like, for that guy, was like bringing up I don't know why I'm going on with this. But anyway, let's just move on. I'm not making much sense.
Suddenly I was so confused. But you're talking about power dynamics, no? Or more
like dynamics in between gays law, I guess, like gay guys. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not a gay guy, so who am I to
straight
say?
like relationship, not even relationship, but like straight interactions, power dynamics is always a factor. Like how rich old people, men, get influence,
like
have
Trump
influence over young. Okay, this one's slender, Yvette.
No, Trump and his wife.
Trump.
His wife is much younger than him.
That's true. I thought it's talking about like him having younger girls.
No, I'm talking about him and his wife, which is out.
But I mean, it's not just that, right?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of like rich older men and like. But anyway, that's not the topic for today.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, maybe just for thinking, for discussion, like where is the line being drawn in terms of, because he did say this line that whatever two consenting adults do, it's purely none of our business.
Yeah, it's
which
not.
I totally agree. Yeah, but also the fact that he brought this line made it sound like we all have that issue, that like nobody has issue with that. Right?
Yeah.
It made it sound like people are calling him out for that. No, like that isn't the problem, Dee Kosh. Yeah, but the whole it's true that if let's say they are 18, it's really not our business lah. It's nothing illegal. In fact, the discussion, I guess, the only thing that is illegal was that he was like talking to people under 18.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly talking to people under 18 and like kind of asking for sexual favors.
Yeah.
Right, that's the only thing that's illegal, but everything else actually it seems like it's fair game.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think then after that the conversation turned into how he's in general an asshole, because like there were also screenshots of him having conversations with guys who are of legal age, and he's shown to be manipulative or so lah, or something on those lines lah. Basically very crude lah.
Yeah. So I think part of the problem why everything blows out into this scale is because actually he already has a solid base of haters.
Yeah.
Like people who don't like him tend to don't like him quite a bit.
And I think because he's always like framed himself as like this arbiter of like moral rights or whatever, how he called up Eden Ang, and he like to spill tea on other people as if he doesn't have skeletons in his own cupboard. Yeah.
And actually he also damn shady when he do about all this business.
What do you mean?
Like he used Telegram secret chats.
Oh.
So that people don't
and
get
see,
to
he used
say.
Snapchat
He used
also.
Snapchat, but the thing is, Snapchat you take screenshot, the person will know or something.
Yeah.
Then he's like, hey, why you take screenshot?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he called up like when someone else takes screenshot.
I mean, that's what people say is him now. We still don't know whether it's really him, right?
Yeah, but the funny thing is like, you know, how like people say that they pose as him, like use him to catfish.
He say he got catfish.
Yeah, but then the question is like, why would you be Dee Kosh to
I don't know.
catfish people? I don't know who in the sound mind would do that, but I guess I mean everyone have their own preference, right?
Hey, you just said what there's
a genre.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not genre. There is
I mean,
preference, right?
I would never think that someone would use my picture to catfish someone lah.
You never know. What if we go
I tried using my own photo to catfish people, it doesn't work.
It's not called catfishing already.
So it doesn't work. So I know it doesn't work. So whoever is using my photos, good luck, guys. You're like playing the game in hard mode. Playing Tinder on hard mode. How to raise the difficulty? Let's use Kenneth's profile.
Gross.
No. Why am I not getting any match? Damn it. I need to add more points to my personality. The looks is like -3. Personality better be 10. Digress again.
What? What were we saying? Can't I can't remember now.
Like
hitting
how,
on a bandwagon, hate bandwagon, like.
yeah. Actually, I
So
feel
then
like
it turns
the,
out that actually
yeah.
he's been an asshole. Like, remember there was that Nicole Chu video that went viral that he and Herzi did? Yeah. And then there was like that video that he did with NOC and Jian Hao Tan on the Smash and Pass thing. Smash or Pass? Smash or Pass.
Yeah.
Where they like made very
And you mean,
unnecessary comments or
Yeah,
like derogatory comments towards like the women that they were smashing or passing.
yeah, the Nicole Chu, you need to set context.
Oh.
Yeah, like who is Nicole
Nicole
Chu?
Chu is a local influencer too.
I think so. Like she writes some poetry.
She wrote a poetry book when she was 19, and then it's objectively it's not a piece of literature. Okay,
Yeah,
it's kind of like trying to be Langleaf, which is like this famous poetry book, but like not very good Langleaf.
Yeah.
And Langleaf it sucks to begin
I
with.
mean,
I
it's
hate
a
Langleaf.
questionable piece of work, which like
Yeah, but anyway, you can criticize a piece of work without demeaning the author, which is what apparently Dee Kosh and Herzi did, right?
Yeah.
They demean her.
But to be fair, right, most people don't feel like there's anything wrong with the video. Even I also don't feel like anything wrong.
I
It's
remember
like, I had a
watching
good
it and
laugh.
being amused. Yeah,
Yeah, but like I didn't go down the. I mean, everybody reacts it differently, right? But like most people are like harmless. They just like okay, laugh, then they just move on because it's like it's irrelevant in their life, right?
Yeah.
But there are people who go out there to
hate on her.
Yeah, and call her out.
Which
I always feel that's always a problem.
yeah,
Like even this whole hate bandwagon thing, I feel like it's a bit like it got the issue why I feel like it's not the reaction is not proportionate to the issue that's being dealt with. Like the reaction, I feel it's not proportionate.
what do you mean?
Because the conversation is a lot about like it's not even about like just the act itself, but like they bring up all the other things that they don't like about him. So like I feel like people are latching on to this incident
To tear him down totally.
to express their hate for him. Yeah. So I feel like the conversation kind of got diluted. The problems, the deeds that he done was kind of being diluted by the other hate. That problem.
Now there's like a lot of noise, and
them.
we are forgetting that the main point here is that did he sexually proposition minors?
Yeah. So that act itself is fucking problematic,
Yeah.
and he should be condemned for
That.
that. But I feel like everything else is like that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if he is an asshole, then but I mean it's not illegal to be an asshole lah.
It's not illegal to be asshole lah. Yeah, that's true.
Sadly,
I mean, how many of our bosses are?
asshole.
I mean,
never
we have
said
met
my
so
boss
many.
was an
We have
asshole.
met assholes at work, guys.
Yeah,
Let's talk about.
And they're not in
I
jail,
met-
sadly.
Met
as
assholes
much
in
as we want
schools
them to
too.
be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the main point of whether it's illegal or not is that part. But then now everybody is like showing. Remember, like the Pretty Please also had a bunch of screenshots,
Yeah.
which also shows that he's an asshole.
Yeah, but it's not directly linked. But I guess people are up in arms because they already don't have a good impression of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so obnoxious.
Everybody's
Ugh.
like, I knew it. No, you don't knew it. You don't know anything, dude. You know.
You know what? I said that. Okay, Kenneth. Are you saying that to me?
Oh shit! Do you say that?
Yes.
I don't remember. Shit.
Because me and my sister like never liked his content, right?
Yeah.
Then we're like, ugh, Dee Kosh, like whenever it appears on our feed or whatever. Even though I don't know why it appears because I never watched any of his videos. Then I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. So
That's why when this happened, I was like, oh my god, Meme, I knew it.
Yeah. So it's like people are like so easy to jump into hate and like condemn people. But I've also seen like I won't say acquaintance because I don't even have this person on Facebook. But
Then how
this
do you even see
person,
it?
I told you right, like this person cheated on. I recognize the name because I have he's a friend of friend. So I don't know him directly, but I recognize his name lah.
Okay.
So I saw him commenting on I think one of the Mothership articles or something,
About
calling
Dee
out
Kosh.
calling out the what do you call it? Like the organizations that work with him, or like the personalities that work with him, and say why are they so quiet now that he's problematic? They just keep quiet, act like
A
it's
lot of
not
brands
their
drop
business.
him too, apparently.
Yeah. So that guy was like doing that, but I'm like, dude, you yourself you cheated on your on your fiance. I think it's a fiance. You cheated on your fiance. You got someone pregnant, and then you end up leaving that person, and then you got married with that other person that you cheated. It's like you are no position to put someone on the pedestal and like, you know, you're not much on a higher moral high ground. That's the problem with the internet. Like, everybody can call out.
I guess it like feels good to call somebody up. Like, you know what, that person's a bigger fucker than me.
You put someone down to make yourself feel better. I think that's a very common thing in our society.
I mean, if you think about like ancient times, we have stoning or whatever shit, it's also like, you know what?
Stoning like that.
Stoning is in you throw the rock at other people and kill them.
I always do stoning at home.
Okay, whatever, Kenneth. That's not the
point. Look at my gag there, just stone there.
Okay, walk in and then suddenly he's reading manga.
I'm doing work, okay? I'm very productive at home one. Don't call me out, even.
And then he will like look at me like, you know that meme about the cat that got caught, that kind. That meme.
Faster minimize.
Fucked up. But also anyway, a connected part. So like Nathan Hartono is apparently a friend of his. So Nathan Hartono is he an influencer, singer, whatever lah? Some famous person lah. He sang the NDP song this year.
Yeah, he won the Chinese second place.
Second place.
Some big Chinese voice
Sing China.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is he's a friend of Dee Kosh, and then he he has a podcast also. Then he talked about how he will continue to support his friend because he's not like a fair weather friend, and he was actually quite vocal about it. Like, even though they're fully sympathetic with the victims, and like he knows that what Dee Kosh did is fucked up, allegedly did is fucked up, but like he will still support his friends through his difficulties and stuff like that. So it made me think like, what if you have a friend who did this kind of crime? Allegedly. Like, then how?
I mean,
the
closest example I have is about like a lot of these kind of things you don't think about. You'll be very easy to say, no lah, I won't support this person lah, XXX, like fuck this person. If he's a fucker, it's a fucker. Right? But sometimes when it really happens to you, you also realize, oh shit, actually, it depends on the context. Right? Like, if you are really close to this person, like I kind of have a example. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but essentially a friend did something wrong. And
that you find morally repulsive?
I find morally wrong.
Okay.
Repulsive, not so much repulsive, but I know it's not something you should be doing lah.
Wait, is it something that you personally also disagree with?
Yeah. So when I first found out, my first reaction, I mean, before that, like I always find that this act, it's an act of cheating lah, essentially. I don't agree with it lah. Yeah. But when I first heard it, that this friend is doing it, it's like last time I would just instantly condemn anyone who cheats. But when he did, I was like, okay, I feel like there's something more to it. Yeah, like, so instead of immediately condemning that person, I also wanted to find out more. So I reached out to him and we talked about it lah. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of this kind of like things, if it's your friend, you will definitely, I feel like if you are relatively close to that person, more likely than not, you will speak to that person first lah, and talk to that person. Unless what that person did is so horrendous that like for example murder, or like being very manipulative, then you'll be like to everyone, like including you. If let's say you are a victim, maybe you will think differently. But let's say you're not a victim, you know that someone else was the victim. Yeah, I guess it becomes more objective because you are able to take your friend's side. But if let's say you're part of being the victim, I think it's harder because you need to forgive him first before you try to help him or listen to him.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how close you are to the person also.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like, okay, so Nathan Hartono, like, say, I'm going to stand by my friend. But then, I mean, people will judge you by the friends you have also, right?
Do you think that what he's doing is good for his reputation? I would say yes, because he doesn't have to take responsibility for the problems, right? But he can show himself like saint. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay what he is trying to do or whatever, but like if you put it in a,
Like
if you look
how-
at it from a pros and cons perspective on whether it helps him or not. Yeah,
I mean, like how NOC dropped him like a hot potato, dropped Dee Kosh like a hot potato, right?
kind of. Yeah,
They're like, nope.
they don't want to
But then Nathan Hartono is like, you know what? He's still my friend. I mean, I have to give him kudos for
stand like,
standing by him despite the potential reputational damage, right, of being associated with him. Give him kudos lah, but also at the same time, I mean, he'll be judged by the friends that he has lah. But at the same time, will this just die down? You know, like what? I mean, we're still in the middle of it, so we don't know how this is gonna pan out. Like how the Eden Ang just ended up radio silence.
yeah.
So
So like any Eden Ang, people also don't talk about him until this incident, right?
yeah.
Then people brought it up again.
Yeah.
But
So it always makes me like, these kind of cases always makes me think like, you know, rapists go to jail, and then if they leave jail, they still have to function in society. Then how? They still be there, you know?
yeah, but they just don't be a popular figure, lor. They're not
Yeah.
a
But
public
like-
figure, lah, I mean.
So just because, I don't know. So I guess in the eyes of the law, once you have served your time, you've already paid your dues for the crime that you did, right? So
Okay,
then after
maybe
that,
we start with this first. Because I think this one we can talk about this on the end of the, because it's actually what you're going down is talking about what's his next steps, right?
no,
After this whole
I'm
incident.
just talking about
No.
like in general, in society, what like criminals like our
Yeah lah, like
what is
what
the Yellow Ribbon Project?
basically what, like after you've been condemned and like being punished or whatever, like what can you do, right? Recover from that. But maybe we can talk about how he has sort of apologized. Yeah, and people, okay, there's always this thing that I always realize people say when like public figures apologize. You're
Online
like,
apologies is never good enough.
yeah, usually the thing is like he's not sorry for what he has done. He's sorry that he's caught. Right? That is the argument when
Yeah.
people apologize.
Yeah.
So it bring to this point is like you, like damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? So what should someone do it then? Like, should you still apologize despite knowing that you'll still be judged for apologizing, that you're being fake?
You have to what? If
Have
you're an
to.
online figure. Unless you're like Eden Ang radio silence and just fade away into the ether. I guess you can do that too, I don't know.
Anyway, I heard that I think I read somewhere that the charges to
Were
him
dropped.
were dropped
Oh.
for Eden Ang. That's what I read up a bit on.
I think I think he should still, because like there's so much like clamoring for it. I mean, he could just go radio silence and then never try to salvage his career ever again in Singapore. But I mean, if he still wants to, he has to address it. What?
Yeah, I guess it's always a first step, right? Apologizing. Like, it's kind of true that when the person apologized, that only happened only because he got caught. It's true lah, right? If you're not caught, you still will do whatever you do and carry on
Because you get away with it.
because you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if the person is genuine in trying to make things right, yeah, you always start with apology or like public apology. Take accountability, right? Take accountability and I guess what else can you do? But I guess taking accountability manifests in many ways, right? Like, for example, staying off the grid, or like, personally reaching out to the victims and speak to them.
If the victims want to listen, want to be
Yeah,
reached out
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
don't
guess if you think about it, there's a lot of accountability they have to do once all this happens lah. Like maybe their loved ones, their parents, their friends, losing their so-called friends. Definitely people will drop you like potatoes
Yeah.
hot potato one. I think that's a fact.
Yeah. So what do you say? Whether he should apologize or not apologize? You didn't answer your own question.
I guess like after what you said, I think yeah lah, you should lah. At the end of the day, you should still lah. I mean, despite people may call you out for being fake and like
Anyway, the point of the matter is that you will never please anybody no matter what you do.
yeah. But
So-
anyway, you're not. I guess you're kind of accountable to the public, but at the same time, like who truly matters in terms of the accountability is to yourself and to your victims. I think the whatever the public is judging you is noise. In that sense. Right. So
Yeah. I'm just thinking like about those YouTuber scandals also. There's so many apology videos.
So many. And a lot of them is like always say sorry, but
I'll
they
do better
this.
from now on.
Or
And
like,
then
or like they have all these things that cause them to think or feel that way.
yeah.
Which I guess is not wrong, but I don't know. Do you think it's right to bring in the context? Like maybe let's say now Dee Kosh come out and say that he was being touched when he was young.
Oh.
Like he has a fucked up childhood. How do you think that's giving excuses?
That's optics.
What's optics?
As in that's like helping to recover the narrative already, right? So I mean, sure, if that's the case, then but then what he did is still a crime.
Yeah.
But then it will soften people's feelings towards him for committing the crime. So there's hope of recovery after that. If I mean that kind of stories are right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, then he can. Okay, then maybe this is the part lah. What should be his next step, right? If you are in his shoes.
Yeah.
I guess people.
But-
I don't think people really think about this, right? Like.
But anyway, you interrupted me just now when I was
Sorry,
in the
sorry.
middle of my point
Okay.
about like what do we do with rapists after they have come out from jail? Because like, I'm just thinking about like that Chanel Miller, the Stanford case back in a few years ago when she was raped behind a dumpster and then the guy got like 2 months or 3 months of jail and whatever, and then like that's all he served, and he still needs, I mean obviously he didn't graduate from college or whatever, but he's still a member of society. Then it just like makes you wonder then like what to do with all these people. I mean, they have served their time. In the eyes of the law, they have paid their dues. Right?
Yep.
Then how? But then the fact is, so does that mean as society we forgive them? Is that what it means?
Yes. I mean, like, the idea of law is also like you judge based on the severity of the crime, right? And then based on that, there is jail term or whatsoever, right? I think the law also wanted to give some leeway to people for making certain mistakes, right? Which is why not every single crime is being judged equally. If not every single crime is death sentence,
That's true.
right? You steal a can of drink.
Let me stone you. It is like the Les Mis, but he had how many years of jail for stealing a
the
loaf
bread.
of bread?
Hey, what's the song called?
Look down.
You stole bread. You break a house. Wait, what was that? Okay,
24641 or something like that.
24601. Yeah.
But anyway, clearly from the time when they had the French Revolution and now the law has evolved, right, to make sure that the punishment fits the crime. You don't go and like serve how many years of hard labor for stealing a loaf of bread to feed your sister's dying baby.
I remember the line already. It's like the 5 years for what you did. The rest because you tried to run. Yes, 24601. Yeah.
Oh, I love that song though.
Like I stole
A loaf of bread.
a loaf of bread. You're a thief.
Yeah.
Stole a loaf of bread. You broke a house. I broke a window pane. Something like that. I can't really remember it.
But anyway, yeah, we were talking
So
about like
digress.
rapists in
I
society.
love Les Mis.
I need to listen to it later. Yeah, but then it's like, like if like you think about it as a person, this person's a rapist, and then you sitting at the desk next to you, working next to you.
Yeah. So I think it's all about first and foremost, you don't go around holding your sins, showing
I'm
it
a
to
rapist.
people, right?
Yeah.
Like I've stolen from
A
a
loaf
house
of
before.
bread.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's a reason why people are being judged for life. Because you want a punishment so severe also to discourage people who might think of doing it. Like the whole ideal scenario where people like, no, you don't do it. It's like the whole like being molested or rapist, like you don't do it because it's wrong. Like that conversation, that ideal scenario where you want people to be fully guided by their moral values, I don't think it's enough to hold the society together.
Oh.
There's a reason why we have law and order, we have justice systems. Is to implement punishment so that when you judge a pros and cons, the cons is way more severe as compared to the pros. And hence that aids you with your decision making. I mean, it is not 100% foolproof because shit like this still happen. But it helps to, like, I guess, discourage a lot more people to do so.
I wanted to say something, but now I can't remember.
Oh.
Anyway.
I mean, part of the reason, you see like how India is like so rampant with all the raping cases, right?
Is it true?
Yeah. I mean, it's also linked, their justice system doesn't really...
I think India is a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, so they have a lot of protests and all. There's a reason why street justice is such a big thing in India. You know how like a lot.
I know there's like a gang of women who goes around punishing abusive husbands. Cause,
oh really?
Yeah, in like the villages.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they I think they wear like pink saris and they carry sticks, you know. So they like it's a bunch of like older middle-aged women. They go around punishing because the law, I guess maybe the law isn't equipped to handle it. So they're like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking hit your husband because he hit you.
That's part of the reason why the Little India riots happen.
Huh? What do you mean?
It's part of the street justice.
Really?
Yeah, because
as in, is their culture?
No.
What do you mean?
No, it's not culture. So a lot of the foreign workers, they were there, they were drinking. So emotionally, they were like, you know, like the drunken state lah. In some sense, alcohol is in their blood. So I think there was an accident that happened.
Was it a bus or something?
Yeah, it was a bus who injured a foreign worker or something.
Oh.
So as per how they usually feel, and it's also because it's alcohol fuel, they kind of brought justice to in their own hands lah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why it got in. I think that's what I read about lah. Remember, I was reading about why the whole, I don't know, online. I read about, I mean, you're like specific with from where? www dot.
As in like, is this like, you know?
It is a thing. There's a reason behind it. There's an investigation.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So I think the culture of street justice was part of the reason. It's not entirely, but it's part of the reason why it escalated to that level. But it's also because for them back at home, a lot of times where shit happens, they have to take justice into their own
Maybe because
hands.
they don't believe that their law system, their legal system will be able to protect them.
Yeah.
But
then, sometimes it's like very long, very cumbersome.
Yeah. Whereas in Singapore, I guess we more or less do trust the system lah.
Yeah. So I mean, we won't, like normal Singaporeans wouldn't escalate to that level.
Because they're like, you know what, I call police. You wait.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, maybe they also know by no alcohol, so like your inhibitions are removed. Or like doubt down.
I wonder what happened to the riots in the end.
Did
they get repatriated and
probably,
like, they can't work in Singapore?
Probably. I think a lot of them are being identified and then...
Yikes.
Yeah. I don't know how we got into this.
See lah, damn it. I was like, I had this point and then like...
The rapist point? The part of how they integrate back to society?
Oh, I remember already. So actually the thing now, right, with internet, right, the moment you're accused of it already, it doesn't matter whether you are legally charged. You are already condemned.
Yeah.
Like, think about... it's just like, it's going to be on your record forever. In the internet's eyes lah.
Yeah, at least the start of the conversation, you are being condemned. It's like the Johnny Depp.
Like how Dennis Chew now, the brown face guy. Was he known for anything else? Brown face guy.
Actually, no, like, I look at him, I didn't even think about the brown face thing at first.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's the brown face
advertisement. Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at the conversation about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, like how when she first accused him of domestic violence and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then he's known as a domestic abuser already.
Yeah,
no matter
for longest time before
the
court judged that she's lying, right? She gave false accounts.
Is it?
Or something along those lines. Then he countersued her or something.
Poor Johnny Depp. So
it's like, it's true lah. Like the internet is... People jump into some of these discussions so quickly without like they just take everything they read online as facts. Like even for these cases, like the screenshots and so on, a lot of times you also realize that actually screenshots can be
doctored.
not like can be taken out of context.
Right.
Right. A lot of times if you just take screenshot of certain part, it can look very wrong. You know, without the context of like maybe how these two person interact, or like actually what they discuss on is a playful interaction or like a joke lah.
Yeah.
But if you look at it as it is, it can be wrong. I'm not saying whatever the screenshots that currently with the Dee Kosh thing is right or wrong. But I'm just saying that we are very quick to judge based on what we see, and we just assume that they are all hard evidence.
Yeah. It's like, wasn't there that case in the American gaming community where there was this girl who came out and said like her boyfriend was sexually manipulated her into having sex, and then she posted like these screenshots of their conversations on I don't know which platform, and then she had like a really long tweet about it, and then like a lot of people on YouTube came up in support of her saying, because you should always believe the victim, right?
Yeah.
So then like people were like supporting her, and then turns out the screenshots were taken out of context.
I think sounds familiar.
But then the guy, I can't remember who's the guy, but then in the end the guy, then he had to talk about it and like address it lah. But then he say, so it turns out the situation is more of the case of like they were young and they didn't know any better. They were sexually inexperienced, so that's the way why he behaved in the way he did or something like that. But it wasn't as manipulative as she painted it to be. He wasn't like the predator that she said. What is that insect? Why are you looking behind me? Okay.
Why you so stunned?
I don't know.
I just saw the thing was a bit out of position.
Okay.
Suddenly, what are you looking at?
But anyway, screenshots can be taken out of context. But anyway, whatever we're saying is not like specific to the Dee Kosh case, because that's clearly still to be decided by the police.
Yeah.
The police is investigating, and if anything even comes out of it, and if we read about it online, it's still don't know lah. But then like whatever the case is, if there were people who felt violated by what he did, then definitely the sympathy should be with them lah.
Yeah.
They're so young, right? It's kind of terrible that
I'm gonna say this from a perspective of a straight person. Like don't trivialize what a guy victims feel. If you have problems trying to process it, think it from a perspective of if let's say the young guy is now a young girl, and then you think about whether is that okay if that scenario happens, will you have judged the whole situation differently? I think that might be a useful reference point.
Yeah,
but I think it helps me a lot in understanding how some of these things are fucked up or like wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very hard to judge it at the very moment when you look at it from first glance.
Yeah. But of course I hope that society could, regardless of gender, feel sympathy for the victim. Like I say, we don't need to do that mental acrobatics.
I think it's difficult because it's an instinctive thing. It's like telling you don't feel hungry when you're hungry.
I don't know.
Whenever
instinctive for who though? Because for me,
a straight person lah.
Straight male?
At least for a straight male lah.
Because for me it's like I can really feel that it's fucked up.
I think maybe because girls are more empathetic. That's why.
You think so?
Yeah. For me it's like I saw my own experiences. So I always shake it off like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And like as much as I don't want toxic masculinity to define me, there are some part of me I recognize that has aligned myself to it in some way or another. Like I will still prefer not to cry in front of camera. I would like in front of people.
Yeah.
Because I'm a guy. I'm know that it's okay, but like it's something that I have been brought up to think of, and it's not something that I can easily and actively change, and or like I will be like I want to cry in front of camera just to know. Yeah. But it's like when it happens I will be able to remind myself like okay, it's okay to still end up giving in to that so-called weakness, because I know that at the end of the day it's part of the toxic masculinity. Yeah.
So I was seeing this post on Twitter, on Instagram, like one of my friends was saying like, do you feel sympathy for alleged predators like Dee Kosh and other people? Then Yeah, I'm like, it's either yes or no. But I don't think it's a yes or no answer. I think it's like it depends. Like, firstly, you can acknowledge that what he did is fucked up. Allegedly did is fucked up. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge that, like,
He is a product
as
of
a
society.
person, no, not he's a product. As a
Okay.
person, as a fellow human being, he is going through some shit. He's gonna go through some shit. But at the same time, what he did is fucked up.
But like he deserved it kind of thing.
He deserves it, but at the same time, he doesn't deserve to die from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important that we have the court of law, and the court of law is able to correctly and like reasonably judge him and like melt out punishment that is proportionate to his crimes.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the collective people, the people on the streets like you and me, to make the judgment and melt out punishment based on our emotions and on our whims.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately we need a cold-hearted system which thinks logically to manage some of these cases.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna run by emotion, when your emotion run high, someone who got like who steal from a poor person will get the same kind of punishment as someone who murder someone. Like the crimes are not at the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, one is in my opinion is definitively worse than the other.
In your opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need sometimes that's why the justice system sometimes feels quite cold. And sometimes people feel like, oh, the punishment is not like big enough or method strong enough. But there's a lot of nuances when it comes to justice systems, which is why you always need a lawyer to fight for the case, no matter whether like everybody should have a right to be properly represented. Right? Even if they did something wrong, there should always be like they should have have a way to defend themselves and let their side of the story be heard. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, whether we should feel sympathetic to these perpetrators or whatever, I think, like you say, it's kind of like depends.
Yeah.
To be honest, I always feel like at the end of the day, they are always a product of the society. Right? Like, when people, like most, I'm generalizing, but like most pedophiles, they are being...
He's not a pedophile though.
No, I'm talking just generally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying he is yet.
No, I'm just saying it's like my bugbear. Every time like people online calling him a pedophile, I'm like, but pedophile doesn't mean.
Yeah.
It just irritates me when things are not accurate, lah. Okay.
Yeah, he's not really a pedophile.
But anyway, we're not saying that he's a pedophile. You're just saying.
Yeah,
in
I'm just
general.
saying, like, for example, pedophiles. Generally, they are when they have a traumatic childhood. Right? Generally, that's the story that you always read up on.
Yeah.
Like they have a very violent and traumatic childhood where they're being touched by their stepfather. That sounds like a very generic story that most like people who are being caught as serial pedophiles. I don't know what's that term. Yeah.
Or like let's take the Catholic Church cases lah.
Yeah. The priests are all like suppressed.
Yeah.
They have to suppress their sexual urges to the extent
and I
where
think they
it
were like
manifested
also touched themselves when they were younger.
Yeah. So do we then judge them purely as them
as the product
as like of acting out the sins or like the crimes, or do we sometimes also need to look at the big picture? I mean, at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, yes, if they did something wrong, they should be accountable because at the end of the day, they're still adults, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think that's why sometimes a lot of the times the justice system take into account the psychological assessment.
Oh.
Right. Which is why sometimes the punishment is being softened because of the analysis. Like this person has major depressive disorder. Yeah. I mean, some people say yes or no to the whole. I mean, like certain people is like, oh, this crime is so bad that you like whether it's depressed or not doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, but
This makes me think of that Netflix series that I'm a Killer. We watched a few episodes, right? Like there's that one case where the guy killed his grandparents in a blind rage,
yeah,
and that was because he was molested as a
Yes,
child by
molested
his
kid.
adopted father.
yeah, and then they don't listen to him. They
Yeah.
refuse to acknowledge his truth.
Yeah, he didn't mean to kill. It was just that he just snapped, had a psychotic break or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like that lor. I mean, he's the product, but then he had to serve
he's still
his
him.
life in jail,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, wow, it's just like really intense. But at the same time, as the audience or somebody hearing the story, you feel sympathetic for him, even though knowing that he has killed two perfectly innocent people.
Yeah.
Right? The person who did so much harm to him just managed to die peacefully.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the fucked up part.
Yeah. That's even more fucked up than him killing the innocent people, actually, I feel.
That
When people get away with all this.
Yeah, and the thing is that he not just abused this convicted killer, he also abused like other kids. Because he adopted like 3 boys, right? Yeah. And he managed to die peacefully. Okay?
Yeah.
Of
What's-
like natural
what's the
causes.
series? Netflix, do you want to sponsor us?
I am a killer.
Sponsor us. Please send an email to COVID now. Times are hard.
But anyway, yeah, I am a killer is interesting also. Makes you like consider all these crimes and like the moral, and then it's just like, you know what, the world is morally grey, okay? But like online especially, conversations are always very black and white.
Yeah. I think
It's very hard to have grey conversations.
so. I think it's fine if the conversations are black or white. But I think as someone who is involved in the conversation, like if let's say you're not directly involved, if you're listening, always try to stay in the grey area. Yeah. To at least at the start, stay in the grey area to listen to the conversation first, before jumping into one side and like like add to the resentment or noise.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes it's good. Like, I think the whole Black Lives Movement is like a lot of people jumping to that and rising up for that movement to make a statement. But but that's also set in context, because that is like a accumulation of problems that they have been staying in the grey area for so long that it kind of tipped over when that incident happened. Right?
Yeah. Oh shit, now I can't remember what I wanted to say. Again.
You want to start writing down next time in a
Damn
notebook
it.
when you have a thought, yeah.
Cannot
Then you write it
support.
down.
You interrupt my thought train.
Oh my fault.
Then the train went out of the station and now I'm empty.
Ding ding. Doshi marimasu.
I want to travel.
Akihabara. Is it? I don't know. I think that's how they say it.
I don't know. lah.
Akihabara. Eki. Anyhow throwing Japanese words out now. Is that, wait, you want to think about what you were thinking?
What were
The
we
killer,
talking?
the killer, before the killer, maybe being judged, maybe the backstories of the killers.
Something about being morally grey, I guess.
Like, it's okay.
I remember already. But anyway, there's no point for us to make it seem like we're so morally superior, because, like, okay lah, basically it always feels good when you hate somebody or you dislike something already, and then you jump on it. It's like, wow, I knew it. This person's fucked up.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that
Everyone does it, right?
yeah.
You do it, I do it.
Like, there are some things I'm quite sure people will call me out
Like
online. Like some of the things that I do, like
Like you're bald.
me making fun of the Chinese New Year video.
Dude, but it's like, so long ago.
Roasted that. I roasted the, what's her name? Zendra Ui.
Who's that?
She's like this inspirational woman.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. Which I didn't I feel like I wasn't personal. Anyway, I also didn't feel like it was like a very big deal, because I'm a nobody, right? It's very easy for a nobody to say shit about people who is popular, because you're like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because she's popular, I'm not.
Yeah.
So like I can just talk shit, right?
Yeah.
Like even now, I don't know whether our hours of conversations online, things can be taken out of context and I'm being put on the pedestal. I think it's very possible if someone hates me enough, they can do a compilation of the problematic things I say.
And try to cancel you.
Yeah, and try to cancel me. Like for me, I don't think anything I say is problematic. I mean, I have opinions that people may not agree with.
But then if it disagrees with like the mainstream, then people will be like, you know what, you are fucked up.
Yeah. It's just that sometimes, most of the time when I have opinions, I try to, or rather I always end up trying to look at it from both sides. Right? I always like think of counter arguments to my own train of thought. Even
Yeah.
things that are like, oh, this should be straight up correct. But sometimes I also question, like, is it really though? Because at the end of the day, things that are right or wrong, is always subjective, right? And we always, I feel like we always end up judging things based on one perspective. Like we judging like this thing is wrong because we are like inculcated this Western culture, for example.
Yeah.
Like the whole clashing about how China do things also and how the US do things. Some US will always use their moral compass to judge what China do. Like, oh, this is wrong, that is wrong, you're doing this, you're suppressing this minority group, blah 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 blah, all that shit. But the US, they are not saying themselves. They themselves are also doing a lot of fucked up shit that if you judge it from the Asian perspective, the Asian lens, it's like, hey, what the fuck is all this shit?
Yeah.
Look at how you're sexualizing everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like for example, like
Look
capitalism.
at your poorly maintained roads.
Yeah. look at how much division you have in your country.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
And how you're like going overseas into your foreign, what do you call it? Your foreign policy.
Anyway, everybody has opinions, and then it's like so tiring. Actually, that's why I always hesitate to share my opinions online, because it's very easy for it to be taken out of context and for you to be cancelled later on. So why am I doing this? I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing we don't have any listeners. Thank you, 10 listeners. Thanks for keeping this small and cozy.
Please don't share this podcast with anyone.
Please don't share. Keep it to yourself.
Let's form that was always my aim, to form a tight-knit community around podcast. So that I don't expand further and become problematic.
I mean, if you expand further...
And then end up on mothership. Kenneth may said some problematic shit. I don't know. What's a good tagline? Number 3 will blow your mind.
That was a trend like 5, 6
Number
years
3
ago.
will cringe. Will make you cringe so hard.
But anyway, yeah lor. I guess it's a good thing that we don't have any listeners.
I mean, there are pros and cons.
Then you have to be PC if you have more of bigger
Yeah, definitely.
Group. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you see like how certain YouTubers, they
I
talk about how back in their days they can make a lot of statements or call people out or say shit about other people without much consequence.
I guess because we are so irrelevant that what we say don't have impact. That's a good thing, yay!
I mean, when I'm here, I feel like I don't think I'm trying to change people's mind or make an impact. I guess maybe in the big picture, I hope that people will think more when they look at certain things. Like, hope people don't make quick judgment as often, or even if you made a quick judgment on a certain situation or whatever, you have the awareness to like, hey, that was quite a quick judgment. That was a knee-jerk reaction. How do I look at it from a more logical perspective? I'm not saying that I'm not a perfect person, that I don't make quick judgment. Like in this podcast, I also talk about how, for example, my first reaction was I didn't feel sympathetic to the boys at all at the very start. Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's about catching yourself and like reflecting some of these so-called judgments that you have on certain things. Yeah, and then like think about it, like, is that correct? Is that what the society, even if it's like a mass group of people thinking a certain way, sometimes it's also good to start considering what's your counter arguments. Yeah, because it's not I'm not telling you guys to not feel a certain way or like to not have that strong moral compass. But I think when you're considering counter arguments, I think it's important. That will help you in many ways. Sometimes it can help you solidify your opinion when you think of counter arguments. Yeah. When you think, oh, okay, it might be flawed this way, then wait, okay, actually maybe it's not that flawed because there's this reason for that other argument. Yeah, I think it's very dangerous if we just keep having that one train of thought and just like go with it without hearing opposing and conflicting voices. Yeah. Because that itself is groupthink, right? That will end up being a cult, right?
Wow, cults are
So sometimes, last time I always feel like, there's no point having all this opposition voice, so noisy. Until I read somewhere about how actually having opposing voices is equally important.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe that's why it's a good thing that US have all these kind of big, noisy, counter two-side argument things. Yeah. But I guess it requires a more what's that word? Intelligent society. But then again, the US there are people but then again, it might be just the media blowing up the minorities lah. The voices of the minority. Yeah. So sometimes just need to have remember some of these things.
Yep. Wow, it was already 12.
Oh shit, really?
Yep.
Okay, we need to call it. Our friends are coming over.
They all say they're going to be late.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we are fine. We can continue talking.
How long have we been talking for anyway?
1 hour, 10 minutes.
Charmaine said that we should maybe make our episode shorter. Like 20 minutes or something. Or like 40 minutes.
I mean, the point is that maybe you can you don't have to listen at one go. Right?
Yeah.
So whenever you stop, you just act it like that's a 20-minute episode. Lor. If you see it's like 1 hour, okay, this is a 3-part episode.
I think that's what Yusting does.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I consume podcasts also. Right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, sometimes I don't listen to them.
Once I listen halfway, then I stop, then I don't listen already. I just leave it.
I mean, that's how listeners are lah. There's always drop off one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But
if you are here, you're still here as we are giving our closing statements.
Man, it's been a heavy episode.
You are part of our tight-knit community. Okay.
Yeah, keep it small and cozy.
Thank you for listening,
Maybe
guys.
we should have hashtag. Cozy and bald. Bald and cozy.
Why must bald be part of it? Is it?
The name is Baldcast.
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope if you think that we said any problematic thing, feel free to call us out. I'm happy to engage in a discussion on YouTube, on my Instagram, or...
Your Instagram is just Baldcast now, you know.
I recently posted about Shake Shack. Okay, follow me on Instagram, guys. Yeah, that's all, and see you guys soon.
Bye.